The bottom line here is he will die in prison. He will never be a free man. He will take his last breath there. In this, please.
This was the best we could hope for, and we just thank God that our prayers have been answered, and now we can all rest.
I was like, is this real? Is this a nightmare? I mean, one time I was like hitting myself and crying. I'm like, what's happening here?
I am so incredibly sorry to each and every one of you who have been affected by this. I cannot imagine the pain that I've caused your family.
Ali Abulaban, a former TikTok star, known by his social media persona Jin Kid, was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole after being convicted of the murders of his estranged wife, Ana Abulaban, and her friend, Rayburn Barron.
And Ali, if I had known what my sister had been through with all the abuse, if I had known.
The tragic event that shocked San Diego's East Village occurred in October 2021, marking the end of a relationship marred by domestic violence, jealousy, and abuse. Ali Abulaban gained internet fame through his comedic skits and impersonations, amassing a large following on TikTok. However, his personal life was spiraling out of control. Behind the scenes, Abulaban's marriage to Ana was disintegrating due to his controlling behavior, cocaine addiction, and episodes of domestic abuse.
My baby brother and my best friend, the way he had to leave this earth is not something that he deserved.
The couple had a daughter together, and Ana's decision to leave him was motivated by her need to protect herself and her child from his increasingly volatile actions. Ana had separated from Ali in the months leading up to the tragedy. She moved into a separate apartment in San Diego's East Village, trying to rebuild her life away from her husband. She had filed for a restraining order against him, although the paperwork had not yet been finalized. Meanwhile, Ali was living apart, growing more paranoid about her actions, particularly when it came to other men. On October 21st, 2021, Ali made a chilling decision that would have devastating consequences. He secretly installed a listening device on their 5-year-old daughter's iPad. This allowed him to eavesdrop on Ana's conversations in real time. On the day of the murders, Ali overheard Ana talking to another man, which fueled his jealousy and rage. Without hesitation, he drove to her apartment in a state of fury. According to court testimony, Ali used a key he had previously taken to gain access to Ana's apartment. Inside, he discovered Ana and Rayburn Barron, a friend she had been spending time with. In a fit of uncontrollable rage, Ali shot Rayburn 3 times before turning the gun on Ana. He shot her in the head at close range, ending her life instantly. After committing the murders, Ali fled the scene and picked up his daughter from school. He then called his mother, confessing what he had done. In a phone conversation with his mother, he admitted to killing Ana and her friend.
Talking to him on the phone.
I just recall saying, that's not funny. That's not funny, Ali. Don't say that. That's not funny. And then I received the picture. I looked and I deleted it right away. And I hung up the phone and I literally fell on the ground. I was in disbelief. I was like, is this real? Is this a nightmare? I mean, one time I was like hitting myself and crying. I'm like, what's happening here?
Shortly after, he called the police and turned himself in. When officers arrived, they found Ali with his daughter in the car, and he was arrested without incident. The trial that followed captivated both the local community and the wider public, as it involved a well-known social media figure whose life had taken a dark and tragic turn. During the proceedings, the prosecution presented damning evidence, including the fact that Ali had installed the listening device to spy on Ana. They argued that the murders were premeditated, fueled by jealousy, possessiveness, and a desire to control Ana's life, even after their separation. Ali's defense team attempted to argue that he was suffering from mental health issues at the time of the killings, including depression and drug addiction.
Mother or father present in her life.
Amira, when you're old enough to see this, please don't blame yourself. None of this is your fault. Your mom loved you so much, and I love you so much.
They claimed that his mental state was severely impacted by his heavy use of cocaine, and that he had acted out of a moment of emotional instability. Ali himself took the stand, admitting to the killings, but claiming that he snapped and didn't fully understand what he was doing at the time. However, the jury was not swayed by these arguments. The prosecution had laid out a clear case of premeditated murder, pointing to Ali's actions leading up to the event, including his use of the listening device, his possession of a gun, and the calculated way he entered the apartment. The jury found Ali guilty on all charges, and the judge sentenced him to 50 years to life in prison without the possibility
He will
of
never
parole.
be a free man. He will take his last breath there. Please.
Family members of the victims reacted to the sentence outside court.
This was the best we could hope for, and we just thank God that our prayers have been answered, and now we can all rest.
The sentencing brought some closure to Anna's family, particularly her mother, who had been vocal throughout the trial about the pain of losing her daughter. She spoke about Anna's attempts to break free from the abusive relationship and how she had been looking forward to a future without fear. The tragedy left their daughter without both parents, as Ali's actions ensured he would spend the rest of his life behind bars. The case also shed light on the issue of domestic violence and the dangers posed by controlling and abusive partners. Anna's death, like so many others, was the result of a toxic relationship that escalated to deadly violence. Advocates for domestic abuse victims have pointed to this case as a reminder of the importance of taking threats seriously and ensuring that those seeking protection from abusive partners receive the support and safety they need. In the aftermath of the trial, Ali's social media presence, which had once been a source of entertainment for millions, became a chilling reminder of how a public persona can mask private turmoil. His TikTok account, filled with humorous impersonations and lighthearted content, stood in stark contrast to the horrific actions he had committed in real life. For many, the story of Ali Abulaban serves as a tragic example of how unchecked jealousy, rage, and violence can lead to devastating consequences. His rise and fall from internet fame to convicted murderer are a sobering reminder that no amount of online success can hide the dark realities of domestic abuse. Anna's family continues to mourn her loss, and the community that once celebrated Ali's comedic talents now remembers him for an entirely different and much darker reason. The case has become a symbol of the ongoing struggle to protect victims of domestic violence, and the life sentence handed down to Ali Abulaban sends a clear message. Such actions will not be tolerated, and justice will be served. Though the sentencing marks the end of the legal proceedings, the emotional impact of this tragic event will be felt for years to come.